go with the Audi Knicks postgame show. A wire-to-wire win for the Knicks in New Orleans. R.J. Barrett, a career game. Career high 35 points. Tied a career high with 6 threes. Great passing down the stretch as well. The Taj Gibson, one of R.J.'s 6 assists. He was a man down the stretch. And the Knicks improved to 5-1 by winning over shorthanded New Orleans 123-117. Great to have you with us, everybody, from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito and Monica McNutt, along with Alan Hahn and Wally Zerbiak. And I think, guys, it's worth pointing out that R.J. Barrett has his career best game while Zion Williamson of New Orleans is hurt and unable to play. And we brought it up in the pregame show. You go back to lottery night when Zion was going to be the number 1 pick and the Knicks ended up with a 3rd overall and ended up with R.J. Barrett. And I think you fast forward to now, and I think Wally is pretty happy with how this has worked out.
Yeah, let's get this back on the tracks. I don't care about Zion Williamson. He's not playing. I care about R.J. Barrett dropping 35
but
points.
The point is where he is now and where he was on lottery night.
He continues to get better. R.J. Barrett's career is on an upward trajectory. He's playing phenomenal basketball. We have to give Julius Randle a ton of kudos for the way he played tonight. For the star of this team to defer to Fournier and Barrett and Kemba Walker to not force. We said at the beginning of the year, he's going to be judged by wins. He's going to be judged by playoff wins, by making it far in the playoffs. He sees he has help around him. He's doing all those little things tonight. He didn't force. R.J. Barrett won this game for the Knicks, and I give Julius Randle a ton of credit for allowing the other guys to have their glory.
Right, and to see R.J. Barrett emerge after what was another slow start for him, and he kind of even said it like, I don't know what it is, I get off to these slow starts, but he's such a resilient personality. He's always been like that since we gotten to know him as a rookie. And for him to come up with a performance like this in what was, let's be honest, a very ugly game. You know, we thought this would be a blowout.
Ugly. They shot 52% and 58%
well,
from 3.
Wally, that game was...
There's nothing ugly about that.
No. Nothing ugly about winning. I learned that from you.
And shooting 58%
but I'm just saying.
The process was kind of yucky.
I mean, every time you're up 13, you're up 16, you're just waiting for this game to just be a blowout. And the Pelicans, without Brandon Ingram, and you mentioned, no Zion, of course, the Pelicans kept saying, no, we're not going away. We're not letting go of the rope. We're going to make you earn this. And the Knicks, this has been the thing with them, is they just finishing has not been their best trait. R.J. Barrett, the youngest player on the team, was the finisher tonight. And I felt like that was the significant thing about tonight, seeing the youngest player step up and finish the game.
I'm sick of the drought. I'm sick of the deadly 3-minute mark drought. I'm just sick of it. Everything you guys said, I agree with 100%. Yeah. And thank God for RJ, because the drought could have legitimately cost us a game versus a very competitive, young, and hungry Pelican squad. And you know, Han, you talked about in pregame about how this would sort of be empty as in the arena. There wasn't going to be a ton of energy. And it was, but I also think that did not help us on the road. However, we're looking at RJ. He finished the first half with 10 points, Wally. To your point, you talked about him being more aggressive early, where I was kind of okay with him kind of taking his time. But when he had those scoring bursts, none bigger than, Pito, the last, 2.5 or so of the ball game.
You mentioned Julius Randle here as we watch RJ, Wally. He only took 9 shots to the point. The Knicks score 123 points with RJ getting the 35, and Allen Randle scored only 10.
Yeah, and he didn't have to. This was a game where there wasn't that pressure of him having to get it done, or even close.
But it doesn't seem like he's going to have to worry about that this year at all.
And that's a good thing. That's why you get that RJ in his 3rd year ready to take that step like you did in your career. That 3rd year is that step where you say, I become not just a good player in this league, but an all-star. And when you're the number 3 overall pick in a draft, no matter who's at the top, you start talking about it that way. And also, you cannot overlook the additions of Kemba Walker, 19 points in this game. 4 more 3-pointers made from downtown. And then Evan Fournier, 19 points, 5 3-pointers for him. Those two are 9 of 15. But it's just the additions of those guys has taken so much pressure off Julius Randle that when he just doesn't have it going, he doesn't have to have it going. He doesn't have to feel like the pressure of, I got to make a shot, I got to force it. He can just let it happen within the flow of the offense. Every night, it could be a different hero.
It's great. And, Kemba Walker has really taken a lot of pressure off him. And I know as a star player, you have that in the back of your head. I got to get to 20, 10, and 5, Julius Randle. But he doesn't care because he's got Kemba Walker raining threes all over the place. I am just so impressed with Kemba in a New York Knicks uniform. I mean, I think this stretch of basketball as great as his career has been, the efficiency that he's playing with is just incredible. He's never been the most efficient player. You know, he's more of a volume shooter and a volume scorer, obviously, but the efficiency with the way he's getting his buckets, the quick decisions he makes, the way he's shooting the three-point shot. I mean, his true shooting percentage, Alan Hahn, let's get that stat for pregame coming up on Monday.
True shooting.
Now I love true shooting
percentage.
True shooting, effective field goal percentage, that is useful. That is what it's all about. I want to know what Kemba Walker's true shooting is.
All you need to know is he's 22 of 38 from three.
In the last,
no,
on the season.
On the season? Okay.
That is
Last three
big time.
games, 19, Monica, 21 and 19 tonight.
I mean, he came in tonight shooting 58%. I know we were in the green room. There was a particular shot he took that we were all kind of like, and then that's 58% from three. That's what it will do for you. It gives you sky-high confidence. And honestly, you're into a rhythm. It's almost like being in the zone. It's nothing that the defense can do.
I don't know how that feels.
That's right.
Don't look at me either. Look down there.
Exactly.
You got to skip him and get to him.
Right. These guys know the zone. These guys know zone.
Now, I've seen Monica playing horse.
Why
I don't know if she. I don't know if you know the zone.
Disregard
Pull the tapes. No, pull the tapes,
listen.
Georgetown. We know.
You be wanting to show off in front of family. Don't listen to him, Knicks family.
You could shoot.
Listen, at Georgetown,
Todd knows about opponents getting in the zone on him.
That's not true. No, I couldn't. At least I could defend.
Who's your boy?
You have at Georgetown. You have Patrick Ewing. You have Allen Iverson.
Don't do this.
You have Monica
Don't
McNutt.
do
I mean, that's what we know.
I love
at
those
Georgetown.
guys, but don't do this. All right.